right, guys, we are live. Um, I am the Star Wars dad, John, your cruise guy, and I have my friend Brian Harkin on the other side of me over here. And tonight we are going to talk about if you take a cruise, should you get off the boat in Nassau? Brian, I'm going to go ahead and let you introduce yourself, buddy.
Hi, how you doing, guys? I'm here with my friend Star Wars Dad, John, and my name is Brian from Ireland. I've been on two cruises with this guy, so yeah, yeah. Let's get this show started, guys.
That's what I'm talking about. Anyways, the topic tonight is should you get off the boat, in Nassau when you actually take a cruise? Okay. Um, we've Ron and we've been to Nassau twice together.
Yeah,
I've been there multiple times, right?
yeah.
So, in your opinion, should people get off the boat? Is there enough in Nassau for people to do? Is there stuff there for them? Because there's a big debate online right now where people are talking about just stay on the boat when you actually get to Nassau.
Yeah. All right. First time I went there, I got off the boat. Basically, I just wanted to see what it was about.
Mhm.
That's the beach, right?
No, that's where we went to Atlantis and the fish fry
Oh
and
yeah. Oh yeah. No, Nassau is good. No, we went to Atlantis the first time around,
right.
and I enjoyed that actually. You know, me and you went with Will and uh, Laurie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we sure did.
So and I enjoyed that. That was good actually. Like Atlantis was nice.
I
So
loved Atlantis.
yeah, yeah. The place I wouldn't get off is the beach one. You know, I think it's their beach. It's their beach. That's the one I wouldn't. That I got off there the first time, and the second time we went, I'm like, no, I'm not going. I'm
Right.
not. So, but if we, yeah, I like Nassau. Ain't gonna lie. Um, Second time we went to that fish with everyone, that fish place.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Now, right here, what I'm showing right now is the actual Atlantis resort that you and I had actually gone to, right?
Yeah.
Um, can you describe to everyone just what we did, what there is to do at the Atlantis resort? Because we saw like this much of it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
just literally
Yeah.
this much of it. So,
Yeah. Well, we went to the casino. We walked around, bunch of shops there. We walked around. I saw watches worth 75 grand, 150 grand. The
yeah,
Rolexes, like there's a whole bunch of things you could do there. But as you say, we only saw a small part
right.
of it.
Yeah, I
Right?
think I
So
about passed out when we looked at some of those watch prices, man. Um, when I saw, 75,000 to $100,000 for a watch, right?
yeah,
I was like, you could buy half of a house for $100,000. Well,
yeah,
you could buy a small house for 100,000, right?
yeah,
And I was like, oh my God. But see, there was there wasn't just that though, because they had the casino in the middle of the resort, right?
yeah, yeah,
And there was all the best way I could describe Atlantis, it was kind of like Vegas, right? Because you had your really, really, really expensive shops, like the watch store that we walked into.
Yeah.
But you had some of what I call your run of the mill shops, like where I got my T-shirt from. And didn't you get a T-shirt from there also?
I think I did. Yeah. Yeah. I think I got a Nassau shirt.
Yeah,
You know, so I did. I got it around here somewhere, but probably in the washing.
I got you. I got you.
Right. But
I
no. Yeah. I got a Nassau shirt, and I think I got a cap too. When like a wee hat,
right,
like a
right,
cap.
right. And
So yeah, like so yeah. That was. I like the Lantis, right? There's worse places not to get off. So, but that's just me. Um, I wish I could have. I wish we had more time. Maybe that's the thing, right? You don't have enough time to see everything.
that's really the truth because we took a taxi there and back, right?
Yeah,
And the entire time we were off the ship, we were watching, the clock the entire time that we were actually off the ship that first time, right?
yeah,
And because we were so worried about, the ship sailing off without us. But that first trip that you and I took, with Will and everyone, dude, I thought it was absolutely amazing. I mean, we had such a great time, going down to the resort. And then, we walked to the backside and we got to see all the expensive boats that had pulled in, their
yeah,
marina.
yeah. And I took a few pictures there. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful spot. So it is.
I thought it was absolutely gorgeous. I really did. And the casino, it was nice and large. I have to say, if I wasn't on a cruise, this is definitely a destination that I would, want to go check out for myself, right? Even
Yeah,
if I wasn't on a cruise, it's someplace that I would definitely, want to, go visit on my own. They actually have a water park there that you and I never did, right?
we didn't have enough time. That
Right.
was the like for me. That was the big, like the big pro. I think that's maybe the argument. NASA is beautiful, but you just ain't got enough time to do everything you want to do.
Isn't that the truth? Dude, I could not agree with you more on that. Now, the second time that you and I went, right, we had Jed, Katie, and LT with us, right?
Yeah,
And we, walked some of the shops. I do believe if you want to get out of what I call the cruise port and explore a little bit, there's plenty to see, right? But
yeah,
then we jumped in the taxi and we went down to the fish fry.
which was beautiful, by the way.
If I the drive there, okay, I have to tell everyone. All right. The Bahamas is so unlike the United States because um we took a taxi there and we took a taxi back, of course, right?
Yeah,
And this was not a approved taxi through the cruise system. It's just a taxi we get off on the side of the road, right? And I gotta laugh because Jed got the first taxi there and I get the taxi back, right? But the taxi back, this guy was on the side of the street drinking beer, you know?
yeah, yeah. But reminded me of Ireland in the early 2000s. Everybody was drinking beer while driving them.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
this guy's sitting on his taxi with some Bud Lights in his hand, just drinking his beer down. But I got the taxi for, I think, $30 cheaper than what Jed got his taxi for.
mm,
So, yeah, Jed didn't like that. I thought it was funny, you know, because and our
I would
taxi back was
I would have told him it cost me $30 more. Just just so you would have been quiet the whole time. But like yeah, but let's get us back quick.
I believe me, I hear you, buddy. I hear you. Um, now what I'm trying to do now, I'm going to go ahead and um close this out, and I'm going to go ahead and try to pull up some of our Google Photos, right?
Okay,
And if you've got any to share,
I got a
um,
few.
yeah,
Yeah, they're on my phone though. So I'm gonna have to find them over. Give me a second here. All right, photos. How do you spell Nassau?
Nassau.
Okay,
Now I got to see if it's going to let me share these or not because it's not connected directly to the tab. So let's see if it's going to let me.
okay,
They're not downloaded. They're in my um,
share.
Google app for my video file, actually, slides and PDFs. Let's see. Let's see if I can share the screen from. Let's see, window, photos. All right,
No,
here we go.
yeah.
Okay, I'm going to share this one right here.
No, I didn't look through these because you know, especially the ones. Okay, that's a month back. That's grand. All right. All right, I'll take this one out.
There it is. This right here, remember this? This is us at the fish fry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. That here, the food there was lovely. I'm sending you some pics on WhatsApp.
All right.
So just give me a second here.
But I will never in my life
Yeah.
ever forget this moment, guys, that we went to the fish fry. And if you really want to know what the fish fry is, it's this row of restaurants that's out pretty much in the middle of nowhere in Nassau. You have to get a form of transportation to get there from the cruise port. But I'm going to tell you now, it has set the standard for any seafood that I eat for the rest of my life now.
Yeah.
The shrimp, um, the conch salad, and oh my lord, that calamari. It is the best I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah. You should be getting some pics there.
There we go. Now let's see if I can share those on StreamYard here.
And these are the WhatsApp. Okay. All right.
Okay, we're going to share my StreamYard. All right, this is us in the port itself when we're actually getting off the boat.
Yeah.
Dude, look how beautiful that is, man.
Yeah. How many boats were there? Because it seemed like there was a whole fleet of boats.
Dude,
Was
there
that
was
one?
more boats than I could count at the time. Because what we're looking at is just the carnival boats right there, right?
Yeah.
And then it was like over to the left of us, we had Royal Caribbean, Disney, and other cruise lines pulling in. I think there was a total of like 11, 12 boats that were there while we were there.
Yeah. That air, I was looking at it and going, geez, they're just dumping everybody in the same place at the same time.
Yeah.
That's what that's what it felt like. And then it was like
Now,
chaotic,
yeah, I
because everybody
love
was.
this picture right here. I don't know if you or I took this one, but this is from the cruise port itself, and you can look straight across and you actually see Atlantis right there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's awesome.
I mean, I absolutely love that picture. Basically, same picture.
You
Okay.
see, that was probably you because tell you the truth, John, right? At that point, I would have pointed at it and I was like, "Where's Atlantis?"
I hear you.
Just coming off the boat, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I hear you, buddy. Now, this one right here, this is what we were talking about on the backside of Atlantis, right? It's their dock where their high rollers roll in with their multi-million-dollar boats. This is off the first trip that you and I took right here, right?
Yeah.
We went in what it was February, correct?
No, it was October.
Was it October?
Yeah.
Shoot, I don't even remember. Oh, it was October. It was a
Yeah.
Halloween race. That's right. Which is the slow, slow, slow time for like these major resorts, right?
Yeah.
So there was hardly anyone with their boats in there now, right? But look at this thing. This thing is absolutely amazing. This is a probably at least $2-3 million boat just sitting there. And but just look at the scenery around you, man. I mean, this place is absolutely beautiful. So why would you want to sit on the ship where you can see scenery like this? And there you are right there.
Yeah. Yep. That's me and Will.
Yeah. I mean, and this is the resort itself, you know.
The resort was beautiful, even on the inside.
The like I said, I honest to God thought we were in what I call like a tropical Las Vegas, the way the resort was set up. I mean, that's the way it truly made me feel, was like we were in a tropical Las Vegas. And we didn't even get to see any of the good stuff, like we didn't get to see the aquarium. We didn't
Yeah.
go, get to see you know, the water park. We didn't go get to see, like the shark exhibits or the stingrays and, all the wildlife that was at the resort that, we could actually go take advantage of. We were just that short on time because I think the problem was, we wasted so much time getting off the boat trying to decide what we wanted to do. And we didn't have a game plan, when we first got off the boat.
Well, you see, I was just following you because I knew nothing. I was like, whatever.
I know. Believe me, I know.
You know what I
But
mean? Like, so I was like, whatever.
but
That's just, yeah. You could
yeah,
skip
even in the
them.
Caribbean, they serve Coke, right?
Yeah. All right.
Oh, I forgot about this, man. This is the fried chicken you had.
Yeah. That was lovely.
There, there at the fish house. Look how huge that thing is. I mean, seriously, look how big that is. You had half a chicken and it cost what, $12?
Yeah. which is freaking, like you couldn't beat that. You couldn't beat those prices
No, I mean that costs $12 for half a chicken. You
with the
cannot.
fries as well.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
I don't know why, but it's like LT was like take another pic.
dude, you took
On the on
tons,
the chicken.
tons of pictures of the chicken, man. Now
Yeah,
this is in Nassau on the streets. You know, if you want to walk the streets and see vendors and everybody else, and I have no idea what this is a picture of. Maybe we are trying to get a picture of Senor Frogs down there. I don't know, but we don't know anybody else in this picture. So
no,
I'm
no,
just,
no, nobody. Right. LT was taking pictures. I'm like, okay, I'll take a bunch of pictures, and those guys were just standing in front of me. So
yeah. So I'm assuming he's just trying to get Senor Frogs in that picture. Now
yeah,
over here in the left hand side over here. All right. This
yeah,
is a huge, huge, huge tourist shop, right? Now,
yeah,
if you want to go to Nassau and get tons of souvenirs, you have plenty, plenty, plenty of places to be able to walk into a shop and get pretty much anything that you want, right? As far as
yeah,
souvenirs, t-shirts, hats, glasses, you name it, you can get it, right? Stamped with either Nassau, the Bahamas, anything that you might want, right? But as far as you know, being like Mexico, because you've never been to Cozumel with me, right? Cozumel by far is my favorite cruise port, right?
okay,
What's great about Mexico, right? Like Cozumel, Costa Maya, they let's say you have a medication that you take. Okay, I know you're from Ireland, but here's stateside, right? Let's say there's a medication that I take here, right? That's wickedly expensive and I'm just about out of it, right? In Cozumel, you can walk into a pharmacy anywhere. Um, you don't have to have a prescription. You just ask for it and you pay like a quarter of the price of what you would pay for it stateside.
yeah, yeah. I get you. Like,
So now that's normal medications. They're not going to sell you narcotics, they're not going to sell you opioids, heavy painkillers, anything like that. But any what I call over the shelf, you can get antibiotics, you can get steroids, you can get, you know, any what I call, just run of the mill drugs. And I love that. I absolutely love that, about what we can actually do in Mexico. So, I mean, it's one of the great things about actually being in Mexico itself. So, I mean, there's lots of advantages and lots of disadvantages, about
yeah,
actually being in Mexico. So, now we've got our group cruise coming up, September of next year. We are going to be nowhere near Nassau with this upcoming cruise, right?
okay,
We're going to be going to the other side of things. We're actually going to hit Cozumel, right? We're going to hit the Dominican Republic, right? That is one of my favorite, favorite, favorite places that we can possibly go, man. I know you haven't seen it yet, but when you pull up to it, it literally looks like you're pulling up to a scene in Jurassic Park
okay. Sounds
because,
sounds cool.
yeah, because you've got the mountain in the background, right? And especially if it's foggy outside. I mean, if it's foggy and you're pulling up in the morning and you can barely make out the mountain in the background and you're getting closer and closer and closer, you can just picture like pterodactyls, flying off the mountain or something.
Yeah.
We know they don't exist, but it's a cool scene inside your head.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It sounds cool, man. Like, honestly, I can't wait for next year
Dude, I
already.
I am so excited because we're over a year away right now, right?
Yeah.
And I'm already thinking of all the great things that are going to come out of this because it's a 7 day, right? That first cruise that you and I took together, it was an 8 day, right? And it would have that first cruise that we took would have been perfect if it was only 7 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Yeah. By the time we got to the fifth day, it's like, I can't wait to get out. No offense, but like, like, yeah.
no, we were all talking that way. We were all like, this would have been perfect at 7, but that last day we were on the ship, we were all like, can we just please, just get back to port, and we could have gone, 7 days and been happy. This 8th day is just it's dragging.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. No, I preferred the first cruise because I had more time to, more time to settle in and get things the way I wanted it, and sort out certain things. Right. The second cruise was shorter and it felt more condensed.
Oh,
Right.
I
The
agree.
7 day.
I couldn't agree with you more, right? But I'm going to show you what we're going to be having while we are on the Mardi Gras, right? Now, I'm going to be showing someone else's video.
Okay.
It's their own YouTube video. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mute it. Just that way I'm not going to get a copyright strike. It's only going to be like 4 minutes, but I want everyone to see how beautiful of a place we are going to be, on the ship itself. So give me just a second. I got to find mute on my actual YouTube. And, there it is. Just a second. I got the mouse here. There we go. All right. All right. We're going to stay in what's called the Havana area on the ship, on the Mardi Gras, right? And I definitely want this to be a little bit of a surprise for you. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and play this for you for the first time, right? And what's great, this area that we're going to see is it is strictly for anyone that has the Havana area, right? It's
Okay.
on 8. Only people that have the Havana cabins, they'll get a wristband, right? And it gives you special access to the balcony, your own pool, your own bar, and your own hot tubs. Only people that have these cabins have access to it.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to play this and let everyone see for them. Look at this. Okay, you're looking now. You're coming out of one of the balcony rooms, right? A Havana balcony room. And what you're looking at is the Havana members only area. All right. Now, remember how you like sleeping on the deck?
Yeah.
You'll be able to do this in comfort if you want, because you're traveling. This is all Havana area members only, right? Look at
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
There's lounge chairs out there, and okay, they need to get off the railing here, but I want you to see once they get down. Okay. I'm going to stop this one real quick and bring up a better one because this one sucked, right?
Fair enough.
I want everyone.
I would not do it on Celebration.
There we go. Okay, here we go. We're going to play this. But, all right, this is the Havana area itself. All right, look, see there, your own bar. You get your own bar, hot tub, pool. But see there to the left, those are the balconies, right?
Yeah.
They're not like typical balconies where they're overhanging the water. They come out onto this special area, right? But this special area gives you access to, look right here, your own special bar.
I'll take it.
And look at that, your own entertainment, right?
Okay.
I mean, how cool is that, right? Now,
Yeah.
see right there, Havana Experience wristbands required, right? You go through the doors and look here, Brian. Like I said, you like to sleep on the deck. So look at all a private pool just for us, a private hot tub, tables, chairs. You got loungers there, and there's those things that you like right there on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
I can't remember what those, the clamshell things.
No, they're comfy. But I just sat out there and I listened to, I put on music, put on, my earbuds and just, relaxed out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is cool, man.
But how cool is this? Our own private. This is just for the Havana guest only, right? So we've got our own private pool, our own private hot tub, right? And you and I, we've never gotten in the pool on any of the cruises that you and I have got been on together because the pool access is just, there's so many people down there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but, and this is what the rooms, that's for the crew. I'm trying to see.
The only thing I did with the pool was I sat in the side and just put my feet in. That was it. That was about it.
Yeah.
So.
But, it's not huge pool and hot tub, but for what it is, for just special guests, dude, you cannot beat it. You cannot beat this.
It looks awesome, man. It looks awesome.
So, I mean, that's something I am just so looking forward to.
Is this with Carnival as well?
What's that?
Is this with Carnival as well?
Yeah. It's with Carnival and it's on the Mardi Gras. So,
okay.
Ron, I would love to rent you. I just don't know how, buddy.
Fair enough. I know you need I know you need me to type something to rent me. So,
well, my thing is, like I said, I could rent you if I could watch my own video.
Well, here you got your phone, do you?
Yeah.
I think you can do it from your phone.
I have no clue.
Just go to YouTube and click on your video.
I've tried that, and I can't click on my own video while I'm on StreamYard. So or if I can be honest with you, I really truly don't know how. Right?
No, fair enough. Yeah.
Because
I get you.
Let's see. it does not show my video. See, there's new, I could do this a year ago, right? And not worry about it, but they've fiddled with the programming. And since they fiddled with the programming, I don't know now how to actually get to it like what we used to do, right?
Yeah.
When we were, younger, you just, hit view your channel and bam, there, as you're doing your video, bam, there it is, right?
The pop up, yeah, yeah, it used to pop up at the top.
Yeah. But now, it's here we go. I got it open. There we go. Okay. Wrench me. Let's see. There you go. Done.
Let's see.
You are wrenched and you've got a super wrench. So
I just typed wrench.
yeah, you got keys to the kingdom. So I mean, yeah. So you're good to go. But this is my thing. While you're over there in Ireland, right? If you've got, family and friends that would like to come, on our group cruise coming up, man, talk to them about it, right?
Yeah.
Because I know you had said something that, one of your sisters and maybe your brother might want to come, right? And whoever that friend was that, we did have on our WhatsApp messages, I don't remember what his name was.
Mark.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we've got a date set in stone, we've got a cruise set in stone. And I'm looking at this like the more the merrier, the more people that come, the more fun we're gonna have, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm truly hoping that Jed and Katie are going to be able to come, but I'm a little worried for them because this cruise, it's going to be a good bit more expensive than the last one we took, right?
I get you. Yeah.
And I'm not saying anything bad about Jed or Katie, whatsoever. I love the two of them. I treasured having them on the last group cruise that we had. But they've got some issues. There's some medical issues going on with them and things going on at home. And I'm not going to try to put pressure on anybody to do anything that they can't do.
Yeah, I know. I get you.
And I mean, if he can, I mean, I would love, just absolutely love for him to be able to come. But like I said, I am not going to try to put pressure on him to come if he cannot come, right? And but I'm seriously just absolutely hoping that he can. So
I get you. No, I'd love Jed to come too. Jed's a cool guy. I got on well with Jed. So I would love having Kitty to come.
well, we need someone to, get stuck in the tube again. So we gotta have Jed, because the Mardi Gras has got multiple slides on it, right? Remember the first cruise that we took, the trap door slide?
Yeah.
All right, they got one of those on this ship, right?
Okay.
And I really want to see brown skid marks, go down that slide when Jed gets on it, when that floor falls out, right? And he goes falling for about 10 feet, and then he finally hits the slide and flies through it. I really do. And just so you know too, this cruise that we're going to, okay, um, a lot of the destinations that we're going, I don't know if you have it or not, but do not bring any camouflage clothing whatsoever. Because like the DR and some places in Mexico, if you get off the ship in camouflage, they can arrest you on the spot.
What do you mean by camouflage? I'll just
Like
wear.
camouflage green, and green. You know what camouflage I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, I'll just wear black as I usually do.
Okay, because yeah, over here, a lot of people wear camouflage as fashion, and I think it's ugly as hell,
Yeah,
for some fashion sense. But I look at it like this: people do what makes you comfortable, right? I mean, if you're comfortable in camouflage, more power to you, right? Myself, I just don't like it, right? Not as a fashion sense, but see, that's just me. Um, but like I said, let people be people, but you just cannot wear it off the ship in a lot of ports of call, right? Now, you can wear it on the ship if you want, right? If you got a camouflage bikini and you want to lay by the pool in a camouflage bikini, you're more than welcome to, right? Just cannot get off the ship in it because, they can arrest you in a heartbeat. And I know you saw some of the um, footage of the people being arrested. I think it was in the Dominican Republic last year for ammunition. Remember that?
yeah,
There was two people arrested for ammunition, and it wasn't like they had brought a gun or they had brought sticks and sticks of ammo. It was a one round per person that got arrested. People, I don't know how they get through security to begin with, right? How the metal detectors didn't pick it up. But when they were, coming back to the ship and you got to go through the checkpoints, there was one round of ammunition, one bullet in their bags. And they got arrested and they wound up, staying months, in the Caribbean. And so people do not want to be, stuck in the Caribbean for months for just one round of ammunition,
yeah, yeah. Not that I'll be carrying ammunition anyway.
Yeah. Well,
No,
shoot, you
no.
got, dude, I don't know what it is about you, but you've got like bad luck. You fly into the States and they pull you to the side room and check your hands and palms and everything, for explosives. They look
Well,
at you.
no, that was the Netherlands.
What's that?
That was in the Netherlands.
Oh, is that where I thought that was here in the States?
No, 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 no. Apart because that was the plane. Because I had to fly over to Holland.
Uh,
So I did. Yeah, I think this was the first trip. Right, I had to fly over to Holland, and then the plane was going to Atlanta. Right,
right.
so um, I don't know. As soon as I landed at the airport in Atlanta, I got a text message. Or no, sorry, in the Netherlands. Sorry, I
Mm,
got a text message, and it said meet your thing at at it said meet the security officer at the stop. Like just where I'm about to board the plane.
right.
Right. So I went over and I got there and I asked for the security officer. Right, and he took me aside and he did some metal detector, some detector thing, right? And he
Uh,
said sometimes people have some explosives on their skin. This is what he said, right? And I said the only thing explosive come out of me is from my ass. I said no, right? And he goes, "Yeah, I've not heard that one before." Yeah, right. He goes, "Everybody uses that one, right?" So basically that was it, right? It was like not even 40 seconds. But
that is,
apparently they randomly do it to like 10 people going to America.
oh, really?
Yeah.
So they were saying you could actually have explosives on your skin.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some revenue due that, some people have tried to carry through
Really?
to America in the past. Right.
You
So
know,
they just randomly pick 10 people
yeah,
going,
we learned
going on a
something new.
plane, out of Europe to America.
Yeah, we learn something new every day. Because even when I was in the military, I've never heard of anything like that, right?
Yeah.
Actually
Yeah.
having explosives on your
It's like
skin
it's
that
like
you can
some revenue due or something, like that people carry on their skin. Apparently they carry it in like um like they put like fake skin over and they're carrying revenue in between the patch and the you know I don't know how it is, but that's what he explained to me.
Yeah, I mean, it just don't seem like you could have like enough there to actually make a difference to blow a plane down or something.
Yeah, no,
And please, whoever's out there in YouTube land, I am not talking about bringing a plane down. I would never, ever, ever,
no,
ever
no, but
see
no,
bringing a plane
no,
down.
no. They just stopped me, right? Well, not that they stopped me, but I got a text message. I had no idea what it was about. And he
Right.
just gave me a quick explanation, and he this device, and he goes, "You're clean, you can go through." And I was like, "What was it?" And he goes, "Well, some people have some explosive rev. Sometimes, we've had one or two people in the past that tried to have explosive revenue due in their skin, hidden." I'm like, "How does that work?" So, but tell you the truth, I had to get on the plane. He goes, "Now you're clean, you can go through." And I said, "The only explosive comes out of me is from mass." And he's like, "No, I've never heard that one before." And it just went, but that's what he said. I
Right.
was surprised. Like, I never heard of that. So, you know,
Something I'm excited about too is okay, you and I, all right.
yeah,
I've been on a lot more cruises before you and I went on our first one, right? But from our first cruise to now, right? I'm totally excited to actually get on the next one because I have worked so hard. Look at my face. I am down to 159 pounds now.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, you can see it in me. I have dropped so much weight, right?
yeah. You look,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah. You look, yeah. I was thinking that, you
I
know,
mean, I
yeah,
really have. And, it feels so good having all that weight off me, right? But I've worked so hard to get where I'm at right now. And dude, I had to completely change my diet. I mean, because, I was eating everything that was just absolutely bad for me, right? I mean, there was nothing to, sit down and eat 3 chili cheese dogs with fries and, you
yeah,
know, 3 sodas with it, right? And so I just start packing the pounds on, man, or, um, tacos and pizza, in a night with a um half a 2 liter of, Pepsi, right? So yeah, I had to, totally change my diet, which I'm not complaining because my skin's even starting to, look a little different, from, how much healthier that I've been eating. It's a lot of vegetables now, salads,
yeah.
with,
I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it a mission to at least lose 40 pounds for this cruise.
dude, 40 pounds off you would look, dude, you would look like a brand new man. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
really would. You would look like a brand new man. Um, I mean, um, you're I want to tell everybody, Brian is my brother, guys. I mean, he really is. Brian is, a part of my family, and he will always be a part of my family. The first time he came to America here and met my family, dude, we just bonded from day one. And um Yes. We met through what we're doing right now, through YouTube, guys. Believe it or not. Yes, we met through
Yeah,
YouTube.
crazy.
And it's Brian and I are definitely what I call, what can be accomplished through, trust and integrity, with good friends, via, the internet. And, we've bonded and become extremely close. But I'm going to play this, Brian. This is my full theme song. You tell me what you think. All right. And
Okay.
anyone else watching the live stream on the replays, tell me what you think about this theme song and if I actually need to incorporate it into the videos. So give me just a second. I'm going to go ahead and play it here. Okay.
Who is that
Okay.
across the deck? Always wears a smile, no time to rest. Got lost luggage again. Don't look at me with despair. John the cruise guy is there. John the cruise guy. He will help you fly. John the cruise guy. He will never lie. Seasick, feeling rough. Cabin smelling weird. Someone stole your stuff. Never ever feared. John the cruise guy. He will help you fly. John the cruise guy. He will never lie. Stuck out on the ocean. No hope of return. Except for one notion. A lesson to learn.
I like this. Yep.
John the cruise guy. He will help you fly. John the cruise guy. He will help you fly. I'm John the cruise guy. He will never lie. Stuck out on the ocean. No hope of return. Except for one notion. A lesson to learn. Stuck out on the ocean, no hope of return, except for one notion, a lesson to learn.
That should be the intro. That should
What's
be the
that?
intro. That should be the intro.
You think?
Yeah, put that there's your intro. And put a bunch of pictures of you on cruises on it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I don't think it's bad. I wrote the lyrics for it and composed it out, but I guess say the background music and everything, I threw it into AI, right? And it came up with it. But the lyrics I came up on my own, but I said I wanted this, I wanted that, and I tweaked it and played with it, and this is what I finally came up with. And I'm actually pretty happy with this. Now, if I put it in, as far as like my intro, I think I'm definitely going to have to, shorten it down because it's like 3 minutes long. But
yeah.
I think I'm actually pretty happy with it. So
You could just play the first verse of it. Of the intro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
No, cool.
but yeah,
Uh, uh, yeah. Like I did like the rip in the middle though.
yes, I do love, the little guitar solo going on in the middle of it. I really do. Um, it really, makes the entire song. So, I could, make, a prolonged intro video, and play it with that. But I don't think anybody wants to sit through 3 minutes of an intro video before we actually get into the real video itself. So I'll have to cut it up and see,
Well, it's better in a 90-second. You could put that there instead of a 90-second countdown.
true.
You can tell YouTube. You know why sometimes they have the 90-second countdown.
Yeah, I
You
I
can tell
can
YouTube to put that.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I that's something I could actually do. So I mean, yeah, I don't see why not. So there we go. That's a lot better there. We can actually see each other a lot better. So, but yeah, but like I said, man, I am so, looking forward um to, September of next year. It's going to be amazing. Um, and I'll say this much. Next time we actually go to Nassau, because Nassau, was um the theme of this live stream, right?
Yeah.
They have an excursion in Nassau that I really, really, really want to do for myself. And I don't know about you, but they've got the excursion where you can, take the boat ride to another island, and they've got the wild pigs on the island. They give you like apples and everything, and you can go feed the pigs and swim with the pigs and the whole night. They're pretty much domesticated, right? Because I mean, there's people going over there and feeding them every day. But how cool is that? There's an island over there that's inhabited with nothing but pigs, right? I mean, I we're getting older now, and I want to live life. I want to do things that um
You wouldn't do when you were younger. Yeah, I get you.
oh no, shoot. When I was younger, I was the adrenaline junkie. Look how many times I jumped out of um airplanes and helicopters, just because I could do it, because I love to do it, right?
Yeah.
Uh, the adrenaline junkie. But now, there's new things that I want to do that's on my bucket list that, you know, I've never had a chance to do. And I want to do those. I don't want to, start going into our later years in life and actually have what I have regrets that, hey, we had a chance to do something and we didn't do it because
I get you.
we were either scared, or we felt we were too old, or we didn't have time or something. No, I want to live life.
I get
Uh,
you.
I want my life to have some fulfillment with it, right? And do some crazy stuff, right? I mean, and yes, I want to stuff Jed in a shark tank. I really do, right? I mean, I know everyone's seen it. Our buddy Jed, um, and Jed, I'm giving you a shout out, Electro Jed. Go check his channel out. He's a really nice guy.
He has a
Um,
nice guy.
but he's deathly afraid of just about anything in the wild, right? I mean, he's scared of bears, and there's a big, huge story behind bears with Jed. I'm not going to go into the bear story. It's funny as hell, but I'm not going to go into the bear story, right? But he's scared pretty much of the ocean itself and everything that lives in the ocean. And so, I want to, go on an excursion and actually putting in a shark tank, right? The
Yeah.
shark tank that goes under the water, and they're feeding you oxygen, while you're in the shark tank and the sharks swim by, right? I think that would be good for him, man. The shark's not going to get you, but I want to give him that experience, let him, get over his fears. And because his wife, Katie, she's all about it. She wants to get right in the cage, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, Katie's fearless. Like as I said before, right? My problems there with the sharks when we went done it. It was the swimming.
Yeah.
I can't swim worth a shit. I sink.
Yeah.
Right. I sink to the bottom. Right. Um. Right. And I said that prior. Right. I was never afraid of the sharks.
Mhm.
Right. So yeah, like I fucking nearly drowned when we did that.
Dude, that had to be the most magical experience I can think of in a long, long time, right? Because I get
Great.
off that experience just like I did when we used to free dive in the military, right? When we used to go up about 50,000 feet and jump out of airplanes, right? You
Yeah.
got a respirator on, you got your mask on, and you just free fall and you hit terminal velocity, right? I think I got as much enjoyment out of diving with those sharks as I did jumping out of airplanes at that height. It was, dude, it was absolutely amazing because I will never forget it. Remember when we got there and they were, handing everybody the equipment, right?
Yeah.
The life jacket, the masks, the snorkel and the fins and everything. And I'm already suited up. I brought my own mask.
No, you were right.
And the only thing I needed was my life jacket, right? And I was the first one there at the gate. When they opened the gate, I was ready to get in the water with these sharks, right?
Yeah.
And I remember jumping in the water and looking down.
No shark.
Yeah, looking down
That
and
was
being
at that point. At that point, they threw food in the water, right? They threw like some meat, and it took like 5 to 10 minutes for sharks to start coming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So you were like the first one in, right? And
Yeah.
I was probably like the fifth or sixth person in.
Mm.
I jumped and I drowned right away. like naturally, I was going under, right? And this guy had to fucking come get me. Like like I'm splashing away, and he's just like, be calm. He goes, you're heavy. He goes, you're heavy. He goes, right. Somebody throws out a rope to him, right, and they're pulling us, back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Like literally, he goes, if you go into the water this time, he goes, you see that rope there? He goes, you grab it, you hold on to it. He goes, that's directly to the boat. He goes, as long as you have a hold of that rope, he goes, you will not drown. so I went on the second time, right? By that time, I went on the second time, like it was full of sharks. I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
When you say full of sharks, okay, it was literally full of sharks because
Like there was about 100 sharks, literally in the same area.
Yeah, it was like 70 to 80 sharks below us.
I would have said 100. That's what I saw. Like there was the second time I went in, it was shark. Like there were sharks everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, and it was amazing. And I kept my head down in the water, right? And I kept my hands up here because I didn't want one to come by and try to chomp or something, right?
Yeah.
But not one of them tried to bite me, right? But one of them came by and it brushed my leg, right? Its mouth didn't open, but it came by and it bumped my leg. And I was like, listen here, you son of a gun. I've got my eyes on you because, all it takes is one little, and so I kept my eye on that one shark. I was like, I got my eyes on you. But dude, that was just absolutely insane. That was the most magical experience ever. But I'll tell you this much: there was so much adrenaline that went with that, right? And then when we got back on the boat, all the rum punch I drank,
Yeah,
coming from the boat back to port, right? Dude, we were both so wiped, we had to take a nap when we got back to the ship.
I was like, but you see, right when I was in the water though, the second time around when I had the rope,
Mhm.
I wasn't there was no I was just calm.
Yeah,
Like it's hard to right. My adrenaline came later when I got out. There was like a 10-15 minute where I just full of adrenaline. The second time I got out, when we were on the way back from the boat,
right,
where
right.
where I just felt, and then it was like suddenly I'm exhausted.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, but the second time I went, I was calm. I was holding on to the rope. I felt safe, even though there were sharks everywhere. Felt
yeah.
safe. I didn't feel threatened at all. It was a weird feeling, like, yeah, like this is cool. This is what I'm thinking at that moment. This is cool, right? And then when I got back in the boat, that's when I started feeling the adrenaline. You
Man,
know,
yeah, I felt the adrenaline in the water because
yeah,
you stayed right there by the boat because you were hanging on to the rope, right?
yeah. I was hanging, hanging on there like, right here, like,
I mean, you were hanging on to the rope,
and I
and
think you saw me hang on to the rope. You were like, at one point you look back at me and you're not coming out. I think
well,
you were
I
waving out
looked
to me or
back.
something. And,
Yeah, I looked back to make sure that you were okay because
oh, okay.
um, I was like the
I thought
first.
you were. I thought you were waving me out, and I'm like, I'm not going out there. I thought you were waving me. You know.
But no, I had looked back to make sure you were okay because the first time you came in, man, you plopped. I mean, you were like boom, boom, and you went under the water, even with that life jacket on, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you were like bloop, bloop, and then you came bobbing up like a cork, right? And I was like, oh man, is he okay? Right.
I
And
can't.
so
Yeah. I told you I couldn't swim.
I came swimming over, right? I'm like, came swimming over to you, and you're like, "Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good." I'm like, "You sure? You sure you're good?" And you're like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm good." And then I saw you get back up on the boat, and I don't know, did they put a different life jacket on you or something? Is that what they did, or
I didn't. I didn't blow up. I didn't blow up the life jacket as far as I should have.
okay, okay,
So I went. I went down, and I sort
oh,
of panicked.
I got you. I got you.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I went. I stayed down a lot longer than I should have. Put it like
I,
that. There, he had to come get me.
I got because
So
when all those sharks came out, man, that's when I really swam out there, right? I
yeah,
mean, I got right in the middle of them, and I'm, you know, above all these sharks, and I'm like, this is awesome. I'm like, oh my god, this is absolutely awesome. And what kills me? Remember, I brought my GoPro, right? And it was
yeah.
charged, and it didn't work.
No, I didn't. And you were pissed because you're like, oh, I'm going to tape this. I'm going to record this, and you were like this for the whole freaking. You were like this for the whole fuck. Freaking. I was going to curse there. Freaking. Like the whole way on the boat over.
Oh, I was
Oh,
so looking forward to it
yeah,
too because I was like, man, I'm going to have all this footage, and I'm going to have the memories of the sharks swimming underneath me, be able to see it, you know. And the GoPro died,
yeah.
and I was like, what? So now, um, I have found something that will go over our phones that makes it completely waterproof, so that I can
Okay.
film stuff like that from the phone.
Okay. Well, if you get one for a Xiaomi 14 Ultra, I'll reverse you for it.
All right, all right. But yeah,
Mm.
I have definitely found something to go over our phones now that will make them absolutely 100% waterproof, where you can actually film underwater from your actual phone now.
Yeah.
So that way, I won't miss anything this time. And what's nice about it, it's got a float on it. There's a strap that goes around your wrist, so you can't
Okay.
lose it, right?
Okay. No, that's cool.
But it's got a float in case the strap does come off your wrist, where it'll float to the top. So you can swim over to it and grab it, instead of, if it comes off the wrist, falling straight to the bottom,
Or more like me, I'll be pulling my way up, and it's probably out in the middle, and I'll be like trying to grab it.
Yeah.
It's too far. I'm not taking my hand off the rope.
Yeah. Now, what I'm looking forward to so much on this group cruise too, man. We've had great food, on the 2 cruises that we've been on, right?
Yeah.
But the Mardi Gras, it actually has a Shack's chicken on it. I don't know if you know what a Shack's chicken is or not.
I do not know. I've never heard that term, Shack's chicken. I've never heard that term.
Okay, do you know who Shaquille O'Neal is?
Oh, yeah. I know Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah. Shack's chicken, right?
Okay.
But you know how on the 2 ships that we've been on, they've got burgers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And they still have Guy's burgers, right? But Shack's chicken is it's kind of small like Guy's burgers, but they've got chicken biscuits for breakfast. They've got chicken sandwiches, fries, things like that. It's not a big restaurant like the main dining room or something, right?
Yeah.
Dude, it's great for a grab and go, like breakfast, or, like when you first get on the boat and you want something to eat. And so instead of hitting the buffet, go hit Shack's chicken or, Guy's burgers. They've also got the barbecue place on board. They've got the Pig and Anchor, which is free for lunch. You have to pay for dinner, or you might get it once for free for dinner. But they've got like 6 specialty restaurants on the ship, and you can eat at most of them for free once for dinner, right?
Okay.
But and we're definitely going to make sure that you and I hit the sushi place again, right?
Right. All right. You can eat the sushi, but
Because Brian loves sushi, right? I mean,
no, I do not. No, I do not. Right. There was one thing in that ship that I did not. My taste buds just said nope. Like, no, I did not like it.
I love it. You saw me, I was taking my raw fish with my chopsticks and, picking it right up, either, dipping it into the soy sauce, or just, eating it straight into my mouth. I'm like, I love this stuff,
Like the first cruise, right? I had lobster, loved it. First time ever. Never had lobster, but
some young guy too, right?
no, didn't have that. I know what that is now. Right? So yeah, no, did not have that. What else did I have?
Well, like the first cruise, okay?
The snails things, yeah. What do you call them?
Because this is an extended cruise like our first cruise. It's over 5 days, 7 days or longer, right? There's 2 formal nights on the cruise.
Okay.
Which means there will be 2 lobster nights, right?
Okay.
But what else gets served during lobster night? Do you remember?
I know it, but I just can't remember the name of it right now.
Because I ordered it and had them just put it on one plate. Prime rib, lobster tail, and then on a bed of mushroom risotto.
Oh man, you make me hungry.
It was so good, and I was.
It was.
I mean, it was just absolutely so good. And then, I got the chocolate molten cake, for dessert right
Yeah.
after, right? And dude, I don't see how they didn't just have to roll me, out of the main dining room that night because I was just so freaking full. But that's, the second formal night is where they really put on the show in the dining room, where they were dancing all over the place,
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Here, Will was saying to me all the time, he goes, you can have seconds. I'm like, what?
Yeah, you can
Right, you know,
order as many appetizers as you want. I
yeah,
mean, you saw me every night. I would get like 2 shrimp cocktails and like another appetizer or two, right? And
yeah,
then I'd try an entree. If I didn't like it, I'd send it back and get another one. But you can only get 2 entrees for free. Now, if you don't like the first one, send that back, get one out that you like. But they cut it down to 2 entrees, and then you get your dessert, right? I understand that because they're trying to cut down on food waste, which I completely understand, right?
yeah. No, I do too.
That is a lot of food. I mean,
There's a
you
lot
are
of fun.
talking a lot of food. And, for everyone out there, how do I measure a good cruise, right? And Brian laughs at me and my wife laughs at me when I talk about how I measure a good cruise.
Good.
Like how many shrimp I've eaten.
Yeah, yeah.
That,
No, there. That first cruise, the dinners on that, like were brilliant. I ain't gonna lie. Second cruise, I tell you why it wasn't as memorable because by that point I already tried everything. You know, I've already eaten everything. Like you know what I mean.
yeah.
So the first cruise was remember because a lot of it was me trying it for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you know
Now,
what I mean. So
did you ever try the frog legs?
I did.
Did you like them?
They weren't bad. I've tasted
See,
worse. I've tasted worse. Put it like
I
that.
didn't care for the frog legs. I tried the frog legs, right? I
Yeah,
didn't care for them, but I really like the escargot, right? And for people that don't know what
that's the
escargot
snails. Yeah,
is,
that's the snails. Yeah,
I,
escargot
I
was not bad now. Ain't gonna lie.
yeah, I really like those because mine were just so full of garlic and butter. That's all you could taste.
Yeah,
It was just like eating just straight garlic and butter, right? Now, I don't know what they would taste like if they didn't have that much garlic and butter. I have no idea because that's all I could taste
well, you
was.
see, I didn't like. I saw garlic and butter. I said to the waitress, "I don't like garlic, so could you just put butter on it?"
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it tasted nice with the butter on. It tasted nice.
It did just with
It
butter.
did. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. Well, that's me. I don't know about your taste buds, but yeah. Like I'm allergic to garlic, so and then that's why I was looking at the menu, see if there was garlic and anything, and I'd always say no garlic.
I got you. I got you. I didn't know that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know that
So
at all.
yeah,
The
so I would always say no. I'd always say to the waitress, no or the waiter, no garlic.
I I got you. I got you. I got you.
You know. So
But
yeah,
this ship that we're going on this coming year too, dude, it's got like triple the amount of bars on the ship that any other ship that we've been on, right? There's like 16 different bars on it, right?
okay,
Um the ship itself is twice as big as the first ship that we got on, right?
that was a big
Literally,
ship.
yeah, literally twice as big. The Mardi Gras is absolutely huge. I think it holds 6,500 passengers. I think that's the regular
Okay,
right? 6,500. And then if people triple or quadruple book rooms, that's even more.
yeah,
So, I mean, that's a ton of people to be on the ship. Um, there's so much to do on this ship, and I can't wait, man. And I'm hoping we're going to have many other people go with us. I want to keep the tradition that we have, right? I like going to the tiki bar at night, before we sail, out of Port Canaveral. And we always stay at the same hotel, when we go to Port Canaveral. And the tiki bar is close enough where you can walk to it and then walk back to the room because we've been drinking, right?
Yeah.
That way,
Here's the, what bar I want to spend more time in this time, Ryan? The sports bar.
Dude, I was thinking about that last night because football, we will be in football season, right? And that's pros and college, right? And I definitely want to see my American football games, and I'm sure you want to see, what we call our soccer games, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Which you call football. So
football. That's my football. Yeah. Well, that's the rest of the world's football except for America. It's odd. The rest of the world call it football.
Well, you saw this weekend we had college football teams playing in England, right?
Yeah, I seen that.
But it was funny. My wife and I, we were, watching the game, and they had reporters outside the stadium. Hey, have you ever heard of, American football? Can you tell us some of the teams, right? And I was dying laughing. They're like, yeah, the New York Yankees. I'm like, that's baseball,
Yeah. Yeah. It's like when you ask Americans about soccer, right?
Yeah.
It's the same, right? Some know, but there's a lot that don't. That's the same thing. It's not the main sport over here. It's not really not.
Yeah.
It's probably like if you could put it in sports terms, it's probably like 10th in the poll.
Well, I think the thing, stateside, we make sense of things with things that don't make sense, like cricket, right?
Yeah.
Cricket makes no sense.
I hate cricket. Yeah, I don't understand it either. I've never watched a full game of cricket. I've seen clips here and there, in the news, right? But bar that there, I have zero interest. I don't understand the rules. I don't,
Yeah, I mean, it makes absolutely no sense to me, because you can hit the ball behind you and it still counts. I mean, I'm like, what? And you just run back. It makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah, Sam. Yeah. Baseball. I think I'd like baseball if it was a faster paced game.
Mm-hmm. I love playing baseball.
I'd love playing baseball, right? But watching it, no thanks. Yeah. No offense to Americans.
I was an athlete coming up, right? And I pitched while I played baseball, which I threw really hard for back in the day. I was throwing like 91, 92 miles an hour, right? But these kids coming out of college today, man, they're averaging 98 to like 101 miles an hour. The hardest thing in sports to do is, hit a breaking ball that's doing like 99 miles an hour. That's the hardest thing in sports you can possibly think of, right? And I was a hell of a quarterback, right? Till I got my junior year of high school, right? Because I could still throw hard. I was accurate, hand the ball off. I could sprint. Dude, I was great. The only problem is my entire line had grown to be this tall, and I hadn't grown any in my height at all, right?
Yeah, I get you.
I was still 5'10", while everyone else had grown to like 6'2", 6'3". And when you can't see over your line.
Yeah. Like that was me with the boxing, right? For many years, like I was 5'9", right? And I was a heavyweight.
Right.
Right. So when I was younger, a lot of guys were heavy, but they weren't that much taller than me. But some of those guys grew.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm 5'9", I'm a fucking heavyweight. Sorry for cursing. I'm a heavyweight, and those guys freaking grew. And they're 6'2", 6'3". And I'm like 5'9", I'm fighting these guys.
You know, it's funny though, because, you know, so many people that we know, you know, love boxing, right?
Yeah.
But like when I was in the military, you know, your hand-to-hand combat that you're taught, it is nowhere near what I call boxing or anywhere near resembling boxing whatsoever, because you are not trying to keep someone, you know, at arm's length from you, right?
Yeah.
You are trying to bring them in as close as possible, quick strikes, fast, and it's designed to be used with a knife if you have a knife, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah, I get
fast,
you.
quick, and hard strikes, you know, incorporating, you know, like a little bit of jujitsu, you know, holds and throws. But yet,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not a martial artist, so I don't know what all this, you know, is
Yeah.
called, but
Like, but for being a 5'9" heavyweight, right? Where do you think I wanted to be on the inside?
oh yeah,
So that was my most effective, was short, sharp shots on the
right,
inside.
right,
But it was getting there. It's the hard thing, you know,
right.
a lot of the time. So, yeah. But it's hard to explain, because like it's probably the hardest thing to do is get into somebody who's taller than you in the ring.
Right.
He's got a long freaking jab and understands distance. Hard freaking thing to do.
Well,
You know?
see, like what we were taught, right, was to bum rush someone, right?
Yeah.
Get in as close as possible, then attack, right? Because it doesn't give that person a chance to remotely try to box with you, right? You get in very, very close, and you know it's a lot of jabs with your hands, quick hand palms, you
Pop
know,
up. Yeah. Pop up.
elbows.
Pop. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I get you. Yeah. Very quick. Very. I get you. On the inside, I think I value accuracy more than anything else.
right,
So
right.
if I have to be a half second slower to get the accurate shot, I'll take it.
Yeah,
But
I
I
hear
know when somebody's got a freaking knife in their hand, it's pop up. You know, you have no time to think. It's pop up pop. You know,
you. Right,
so
right.
I know that's a different feeling.
Yeah, because boxing is definitely what I call a sport, but what we're taught is, dude, this is life and death, you know, and the quickest way to end it right then and there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because what you do in boxing is legal. You know, what you do on a battlefield is, you know,
I get you. I get it. Yeah. Oh man.
I mean, but um but no one in their right mind ever wants to have to go there. You know what I'm saying?
No,
No.
nobody. You
And
know.
I don't care what anyone says, you know, that's been in the military or wants to go in the military or so forth, so forth, so forth. If someone goes in and says they want to, you know, cause bodily harm to someone, you know, they're mentally ill to begin with, right? And they need to be taken out, because psychologically, no one, I remember the first firefight I got in, right? And I couldn't pull the trigger till the first bullet went whizzing by my ear, right? And I realized, listen, this is real. This is absolutely real,
Killed or be
right?
killed. Yeah.
That if I do not squeeze the trigger, someone on the other side over there is going to squeeze the trigger and kill me.
Yeah. It's killed or be killed. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
but
I get it.
I cannot squeeze the trigger till that happened. I couldn't. I mean, I never wanted to kill anyone, hurt anyone, do anything. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, So what can I say? But we are approaching 7:30 my time here, Brian. I'm going to go ahead and end this.
Yeah, it's
It has been
1:32. It's 1:32 a.m. my time, and I got work in the morning, so
That's what I'm saying. I want you to
I'm
get
going
some
to sleep.
and it has been a pleasure tonight. We will talk later.
Absolutely.
And is there anything you want to say to anybody before we get off?
Here, if you do decide to come on a cruise, just relax and enjoy it. It's an experience, right? The food's beautiful. The scenery's beautiful. You meet interesting people. Yeah, just try to enjoy it. We would love a lot of you guys, from the YouTube community to come. We really would.
We truly
like we were talking to the last day regular militant. I would love to see him on the cruise with us. That would be cool to hang out with him.
And see, he lives just on the other side of Florida, right? He's in the Tampa Bay area. It only takes him a good hour and a half to drive over to where we launch out of. So,
yeah, like there's plenty of people from YouTube I'd love to meet. So if you can, if you can, if it's within your means, even if you have to save up a little bit, it's worth it. It's worth. The first time I went, I was like apprehensive. Like seriously, I didn't know what to expect. Right? Like honestly, and that's the experience.
Yeah.
I enjoyed myself like so much. I wanted to go on I was like, John, when's the second cruise?
And I love telling this story because that first cruise that you and I took, right? We had such high expectations for it, right? And we got on that ship and it was like geriatric hell, right?
Yeah.
There were so many old people on that ship that, when it came to be like 9 o'clock on the ship, we were walking around and it was like a ghost town because everyone had already gone to bed, right? And there was a few people out here and there, but it was great because it allowed us to go hit all those other spots like the piano bar, right? Man, we had so much fun in that piano bar.
Piano bar is awesome, right? And the hostess, the woman, the girl who did the singing, right? Yeah. She was awesome. She was fun, right? She made everybody feel welcome. It was a good atmosphere, good vibe. Yeah. Just it's like karaoke with her just playing the piano.
It was amazing, man. I was, especially, my wife and I, we love Billy Joel, right? And for her to do some of those Billy Joel songs that we love, like Piano Man or, Didn't Start the Fire or anything like that, where, you got a drink in one hand and she's playing the piano and singing, right? And everyone else in that bar is singing
song along with her. If they knew the words, they were singing along with her. It was cool. It was a good atmosphere, and I tried to go to the second time, the person who did it wasn't as fun.
No, it wasn't. That girl from our first cruise, dude, she really made it, on that cruise.
She made that experience too, and she was cute. I tried to hit on her a few times. I ain't gonna lie, especially when John wasn't there, right? But I hit on her a few times. It went back and forth. It was a bit of fun, but and she was flirting back with me, so it was fun. It was, but and then that was it. Like, if you decide to come, freaking enjoy it, right?
Well, let me ask you, because I've talked to some people already, in the YouTube community. Let me ask you these questions, so they can hear the answers, right? A lot of people are worried about, number one, can you fall overboard?
No. Not unless you're a complete idiot and you climb to the top of the frickin', climb to the top of the frickin', what do you call it? They got screens up. Unless you climb up and you decide to jump overboard, you're not going to fall overboard. you have to be a
Exactly.
you have to be a
Exactly.
completely freaking idiot, to now.
Now, if you're on board, right, and there's someone on board that you don't like, right, are you going to keep running into this person and be around them all the time while you're on the ship?
Not constantly, no. You might see them here and there. You might see them, like passing through, right? But more likely they're going a different place than you, or they're going a different direction.
Mhm.
You don't have to, like you don't have to see them all the time. So no, you're
They're,
definitely not. Those ships are big enough to
yeah,
avoid people.
I was about to say those ships are so big, unless you're looking for someone, the
Well,
chances
here's
of
the
you,
thing: if you're looking for someone, the chances of finding them slim, unless you know exactly where they are.
well, unless it's me, right? Unless it's late at night, right? I'm either
Drunk,
where? Well, but
bar,
where?
in the
Uh,
bar, in the what do you call it? In the casino bar,
yes, the casino. Yes.
the casino bar, or the piano bar.
Yes, 1 to 2. Late at night, that's where I'm at. I am
Yeah.
either gambling or I'm in the piano bar. Um,
Yep.
unless it's movie night. I love movie night, being out on that pool deck, watching a movie underneath the stars. I do. I'm a little softy, when it
Yeah.
comes to that.
Yeah. Like what was it we watched last time? It was Fast and Furious 10. So I just
I
got
think
back.
so. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
And because it was just hitting the theater. That's what I love about being on the cruise ship. They've got movies that are in the theater that they're actually playing on the Jumbotron.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it was Fast and Furious 10. I seen the previous nights. I said, you know what? And my favorite part was when Dwayne Johnson or John Cena got killed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Oh,
get very good. John Cena's not going to be in 11.
yeah.
That's the John.
Now, I've had other people here on YouTube. Okay. There's been some women that are like married, right? That
Yeah.
actually want to come, and they ask, is it weird for me to room with another female if I'm married?
No. No. No, it's not. It's not weird. It's not weird at all.
No, I
Unless
don't see,
unless you make it weird, it's not weird.
yeah, I don't see why that would be weird, because that's like, two female friends going to like a wedding, right? And getting a
Yeah.
room and rooming together. I don't see anything weird about that, right? Um, another question. Is everything included in my ticket price? Everyone knows, yes, you have to purchase your own alcohol, but is everything else included?
Yes. Yeah. Food. Right. You get breakfast. You go out in the morning deck for breakfast. You go to Guy's Burger at any point near enough during the day. They got a buffet in the evening. Then they got dining. Like, yeah, at any point you could sit in the ship except for me. They got pizza, like for people coming out of the nightclub.
Well,
You know,
see, there's food 24/7, because like in
yeah,
the mornings you got the buffet, or you could go to the main dining room, right?
yeah,
And even Blue Iguana over there, you can go get breakfast burritos, right?
yeah, yeah.
Lunch,
Like,
you
yeah,
can eat,
it's all included.
now on the Mardi Gras, there's many, many, many more food options than what you've seen so far, right?
Yeah,
What you've seen so far is like this much compared to what's going to be on the ship that we're going on.
yeah,
But just to answer everybody's question, when you step aboard the ship, guys, your lodging is included, right? Your food, which you can eat 24/7 if you want, is included. Drinks are included, right? That's
yeah,
non-alcoholic drinks. That's like water, tea, coffee, and juices. All right.
yeah,
All your entertainment is included, right?
Mhm.
That's live bands, that's your bar scenes, right? There's so much to do on the
There's
show.
plays, there's comedians, there's whole bunch of there's live plays, there's comedians. As you say, you got the cinema thing
Yeah,
on the outside. Like the widescreen. They got chairs for you. You can go get popcorn, ice cream if you want it, or
yeah,
like yeah. And it's thing you pour yourself. It's not you know they got things set up where you pour yourself.
exactly.
You know
They
itself. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
if you're an ice
like
cream lover, guys, there's 24/7 soft serve ice cream. You go get a cone or you go get a bowl and you walk
get a
up to it.
bowl and just top it up
Yeah,
and eat away. Like here, like there's plenty of options, right? From the two cruises I've been on, and as you said, there's a lot more in this cruise. There's a
yeah,
lot more options. There's a lot more. There's a lot more like wee restaurants and things like that. There,
yeah,
like that's all included, guys. Right? Once you buy the tickets, it's all included. That 5 days, 7 days, however long the cruise is, 8 days. It's all included. So
I-
why not go and freaking enjoy everything? You might as
I'm
well. You might as well go and try. And then you got the dining nights, and lovely, right? They put on spreads.
I was about to say, this one that we're doing that's coming up is like the first one that we took. There's two formal nights on it,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
And I'll tell you this much. I love formal night. I I really do. I love for everyone to dress up and be able to get amazing pictures. Everyone looks nice. You go to dinner and you strut your stuff, and everyone looks absolutely amazing, right? And then you can go to the show afterward. Like the first one Brian and I did, they had the 80s laser rock show right after we
yeah.
had.
That was cool. That was cool. Yeah,
Yeah, I loved it. It was all 80s rock music with the lasers going, with the live band. I was like, man, that was awesome. Right.
that was cool. Yeah, like that's all included, guys, on the ticket, right? Bar the drinks, right? Bar the drinks package, right? Which you have to buy separate.
Yeah.
But the rest of it's included, and it's good, great value.
Yeah.
It's good.
And tomorrow night, I've already posted the video. It'll hit tomorrow night. Right. I made a video just on parking prices. Right. It's about 8 minutes long. It's going to go over for everyone what it costs to park at the cruise port, depending on which cruise port someone, is sailing out of, and what is deemed to be decent tips for if you're passing your baggage off, right?
Yeah,
And if you're not parking at the cruise port, what your options are, where else you can park, and what you're going to pay for it. Because it's always good to have a plan before,
yeah,
coming down.
yeah. I get you. I get you. That's why right, as I said before, right, I don't even take my driver's license when I go to America. I'm afraid of losing it.
I
It's very hard. It's very hard to get a renewed driver's license here.
yeah,
That
and
costs a fortune. So
you can tell everyone though, if they do go on a group cruise with us. So like 3 months out from the cruise, everyone will start to hate me because I will be. You got this. You got that done. You got this.
yeah, he's like he you will be putting your John on mute. John's WhatsApp on mute for a while, because he does he likes everything. He likes everything done in good time,
Yeah, I
So
am organized to the T because this is my thing.
I'm the complete opposite. I'm like last minute,
Yeah,
you know.
I'm organized to the T because I will have everyone's flight numbers, arrival times. I'll have everything written down. I'll know where everyone's arriving, how they're getting there, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know,
Yeah.
whole
And he'll make plans. He'll make plans for you, right? He'll get, if he can't pick you up, he'll get somebody to pick you up, guys, at the airport.
exactly.
Like John likes to be on top of it, just because it's not because he actually does care, right? He likes to make sure everybody gets to where they need to get to. That's why
That's just it. I care, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't want anyone, right, coming all that way down for a vacation, right? And then getting to the cruise terminal and them getting turned around and not being able to get on the ship because they didn't have a document or they did something wrong. I never want that to happen for anyone. That's why I'm so strict all the way up until everyone's supposed to leave for the cruise.
The second cruise though, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we were in the terminal, we were going in.
Yeah.
I was so tired.
Yeah, I could see it.
Like, and all I wanted to do was, we were meant to go up to the 9th deck, right?
Mm-hmm.
And have a toast.
Yeah, and y'all never showed up till like 3 hours later, man.
Because he's like, we got to find John. He's over here. We'll look for him here. And he went and he looked at everything, right? And everywhere and I should have just left him and just went up.
Because this is my thing. I told everyone, right?
Yeah.
Meet me on the Lido deck, right?
Yeah.
Over by guys first.
And I knew the Lido deck. I knew the Lido deck was number 9 because it was number 9 in the first cruise.
Yeah.
So
And
I was like, I'm going up to number, and he's like, no, we'll look for John here. We'll look for John there. And he'd stop and he'd go, oh, let's look in here. And
yeah,
I was following him around like LT. This is LT, right? And I should have just said, I'm just heading up to the Lido deck.
Right.
I'll see you up there. I'll see you up there when you find out how to get there.
Yeah, I get priority boarding, so I get on before everyone.
Yeah.
And and yes, that is a perk. I've taken so many cruises, it's a perk, right? That I got priority boarding. I love it because it gets me on the ship before everyone else. So I get to start my vacation before everyone. Well, what I really love about it, I get to, get a guy's burger pretty much before everyone else. So
here's the thing. I never asked you, the guy's burger.
Uh-huh.
Right when you're in the United States,
uh-huh.
Does Uncle Sam take money off the taxes?
No.
Or is it free?
Okay. Now, while you're in port, embarkation day, right?
Because I know they do that for the drinks.
Yeah, I was about to say the drinks, like embarkation day. If you get a drink and you're still in port, you have to pay the taxes on that drink, right?
Yeah.
I don't mind at all, right? If I get a $10,
neither do I. No, but I was just thinking to myself, like, if I went for a guy's burger, I'm thinking, do they pay taxes on this?
No, everything else, you're not paying taxes on at all. But your alcohol, if you're still in port, you're paying, taxes on that alcoholic drink, which I don't mind at all because, the first thing I do, I run and grab something to eat. And then hopefully
that's what I wanted to do. I was just not tired. I was hungry. And I just ended up following him around, right? But you see, going through the port, I was just right there. I was just right ready to fall asleep.
Right.
I didn't sleep in 48 hours prior. So, I was like free near enough on 3 days. I was like, with no sleep. And I'm like, and the traveling too just wiped me out.
No,
because we went out the night. We went out,
Yeah.
We went out the night before.
Yeah.
I was wiped.
Yeah. But I was hoping we are going to do like usual, right? Everyone go back to the Serenity deck, right? Get together, have our, toast off shot of tequila, right? and get this party started, right? But
Yeah.
you and LT, I was like 3 hours later before the two of y'all showed up. And this is what killed me about it, because
I knew where to go. I knew where to go, but LT didn't want to go anywhere near. It was like he would go everywhere but where I told him to go.
yeah,
And I should have just left him. I should have just went.
He answer his phone. I called his phone, I don't know how many times, right?
Yeah.
And he wouldn't answer his phone. You don't have to put your phone in airplane mode till you start heading out to sea, right?
Okay.
And he would not, answer his phone. And I'm like, where in the world are you? And by that time, Jed and Katie's out there and we're, eating together and having fun. And then finally the two of y'all showed up and I'm like, where in the world y'all been? Right. And the deck party's already going on, and it's getting time to start to head to the rooms and start getting cleaned up for dinner,
Yeah. I should have went, had the toast, right? Go back to my room, slept for a couple hours, and then went to get dinner. That's what I should have done.
Yeah.
I didn't. That sort of ruined the first 2 days for me in that cruise. I ain't gonna lie. If I would have got a few hours nap then, I would have been like, you know what I mean? I would have been perfect.
I did. I had a lot of fun, but it could have been better.
Yeah. For me too.
I can say that, I had a ton of fun on that trip, but it could have been much better than what it was. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
No, me as well. But no, once I got settled and I started to enjoy it,
Yeah.
But it just felt like a very short time. Like the 5 days, it went by very fast.
It did.
Downtime in between events and things like that there were very short. That's what it felt like.
And I wasn't sober very much.
Yeah. And every time I went to the bar and I wanted to sit down and relax, LT would come, let's go do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and he was, I love LT. I love him to bits, but he was hyper during that trip. He didn't want to sit still. At times I just wanted to sit still and relax,
We all did. You know what I'm saying? There was plenty of times where all of us wanted to just be able to sit down, relax, and just, be able to enjoy ourselves with it being quiet and, be able to get your own thoughts together and just relax. You know what I'm saying? Because you saw a lot of those pictures I got from the side of the ship that were beautiful, man, where it looked like the whole sky was on fire and looked like, the sky was merging into the ocean itself.
Yeah. I took plenty of damn pics myself.
I mean, and those were nice, beautiful, peaceful times. But, this next coming trip will be different because, number one, you and I'll be rooming together. So, the two of us are two peas in a pod, with what we want to do and how we want to do things on a ship and excursions and being off the ship and everything. Plus, there is always a mutual respect there. Neither one of us will ever disrespect each other. So, and anyone, I want to speak to anyone that actually does want to come, right? Everyone knows, yes, John, me, I'm the prankster, out of the entire group, right? But the people I play pranks on, okay, this is not something I would do with some newbie that's coming on. This is pranks come with those that I know we can prank and that we can actually trust with it, right?
Yeah.
We would never do anything to anyone to make them feel disrespected or, feel out of place or anything along those natures.
Yeah.
You can ask Brian. Brian doesn't want to drink anymore. I will never ask Brian ever to even have a sip of alcohol.
No, he didn't. He didn't. And yeah, the 2 cruises, I think I was very good. I think I had like a little bit of alcohol, but not a lot.
Yeah, but I never once even
Minimized. Yeah, it was minimum. Yeah, very minimum. I had a shot the first time round, and second time, I think I just had some sip of tequila, or just a glass of tequila or something.
Yeah.
At one point during the trip, and that was me. You know,
Yeah.
I was very good. I was very good. For the, I spent the majority of the time drinking Pepsi.
Yeah, I wasn't. And I will be the first one to admit, guys, anyone that comes, you have to put up with Drunk John. All right. It's something you're going to have to do. But the thing is, Drunk John here is nice John, right?
Yeah.
Because the drunker I get, the nicer I become.
Well, you were so drunk one night, I was thinking about asking you for money, but I thought that. No. And a serious note, right? I grew up in Ireland, so drunk people is very, I know how to handle drunk people. Yeah. Not a problem.
Well, it was so funny that first cruise that we went on, right? It was the second night. Okay. We're on an 8-day cruise, right? It's the second night. Brian's sound asleep in the room. I mean, passed out on his bed, sound asleep in the room. And I come busting in the door, it's like 4:00 in the morning, right?
Yeah.
And I come stumbling over to the bed and I wake Brian up. And Brian just looks right up at me. He goes, dude, you close the bar down.
Close the bar down. I'm like, yeah. I knew he did because, yeah, been there, done.
Shit-eating grin on my face, like,
yeah. He's like nodding. Yeah. well, smile, and I'm like, yeah, okay. And then I just did I go out that night? I think I went out to the decks, didn't I?
Yeah.
After.
Yeah, you're like, okay. And I just fell on the bed and passed out. Right?
And I took my phone, my earbuds, because up to that point my phone was in the charger.
Yeah.
So I took my earbuds, I took my phone, and I just went out, and I found these chairs, right? The decks, the what do you call them? The ones where you sit in, the ones with a thing over them.
I call them clamshells.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, I found them, and they had wee pillows in them. I put my head down in the pillows, and I just lay there all night for the rest of the night. And I just listened to music, and I fell asleep.
Comfortable?
Yeah, I fell asleep. And I go, this is awesome. I'm definitely, before I leave, I'm definitely going to spend the night out in them. And I was thinking, if I can get a hot chick with me, that's it. When we were in the bar one of the nights, right, and I was talking to I was talking to the girl, the piano bar, the hostess.
Yeah.
And I said, did you ever try those chairs up on the 9th deck?
Did you really?
Yeah. And she goes, no, I never tried them. I'm like, they're comfortable, right? She goes, oh, I might try them at some point. I'm trying to get her into me, but I don't know if I ever told you that story.
No, that's too damn funny, man. That really is. That is too damn funny. So, I mean, it really is. That's too damn funny. But like I said, it is 8 now. I know you got to get to sleep. I'm going to go ahead and end this for the night. I want you to get some rest, and
I will.
We will talk later in the week. And for everyone else that's going to, watch this on playback, any question, guys, just hit me up in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But besides that, guys, I'm the Star Wars dad.
This is Brian Harkin.
Yeah, my good friend Brian Harkin, and we are wishing everyone a good night, and we will talk about cruising later.
Yeah, have a good one, guys. Peace.